So we continue from where we stopped yesterday. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We continue from where we stopped yesterday. Is a revision class. Though we are going to look at a different diet, a different month. We are going to look at December 2024 business statistics and the research method. So we can see that sometimes questions are being repeated from what we have here. We can see that questions are being repeated. Okay. So you can make a response on the chat so that we all be on same page. Respond to the question on the chat. So we look at the first question we have there. Says when the researcher makes a selection according to equal chances from a population is known as dash sampling, is known as a simple random sampling. So we are saying that in a simple random sampling, every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Has an equal chance of being selected. So, having said that, we see from the option that B is the answer. The answer to the question is a simple random sampling. So when the researcher makes selection according to equal chances from the population, what is being considered is a simple random selection. Okay. So in a simple random selection, we have said that before, that every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. That's what goes on in a simple random. Okay. So the hypothesis to be accepted when a computed value is greater than tabulated value is known as alternative. I think we saw this in yesterday's revision. The hypothesis to be accepted when a computed value is greater than the tabulated value is known as alternative hypothesis. The reason is clear. The reason is simply that when the test statistics exceed the critical value, then no hypothesis is rejected, and what happens is that the alternative hypothesis is then accepted. Okay, so that is what happened here. That when the test statistic exceed the critical value, then null is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. So that is what happens there. So we look at the next question talking about a systematic rising and falling. This also was discussed yesterday. We can see a lot of repetition is occurring here. You know, a systematic rising and falling of time series data is called cyclical variation. We discussed this yesterday at length, saying that cyclical variation refers to long-term fluctuation occurring around the trend. So a systematic rising and falling of time series data is called cyclical variation. Take note, you might be tempted to say irregular, say it is rising and falling, by the word English, irregular. So it's not the answer, it's called cyclical variation. Now we discussed this yesterday also, something like a fair die is tossed. What is the probability of getting equal numbers? The probability of getting equal number is 5 over 6. It's 5 over 6. How do we explain that? If so, we assume that two dice are tossed, probability of equal number is 6 over 36. That is 1 over 16. However, since 1 over 16 is listed, that should be the correct answer. So this should be the correct answer since it's lifted. Okay. So here is a mean. How to calculate mean? The answer is 5. How is it 5? You have to add these four data sets, 5, 3, 10, and 2. Divide by 4. When you add them, you get 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So that is the way we calculate the mean. So these are just elementary. It seems that this was discussed yesterday. It seems that this was already discussed yesterday. So I dropped something on the chat box. I need a feedback so that we can proceed, such as we'll be on same page. Okay. Can I see what's in the chat? Okay. Before it drops, let's proceed.